Welcome back, everyone. There are a lot of us who are already making summer travel plans.
Yeah.
Are you doing any? Are you making?
Shortly, couple months away.
All right. But the pandemic really needs to ease up before then.
But the mad dash is also creating a whole new set of issues. Janelle Bluda connects the dots.
As more and more people get vaccinated against coronavirus, families are looking to travel. But they're running into one roadblock, a lack of rental cars. Let's connect the dots. Excited travelers looking to book post-pandemic vacations are discovering rental cars are hard to come by, and when you do, it can be pricey. According to reports, when the pandemic hit, rental car companies were hit hard. To make up the difference, they sold off cars. Now that people are heading out again, there aren't enough to go around. According to the experts, it won't be easy for rental companies to increase their supply. New cars are also in short supply as car companies deal with a semiconductor chip shortage. So now the big rental companies are trying to shuffle around their existing supply to get cars where travelers need them. Right now, that means warm weather states. So what can you do? At least one person who traveled to Hawaii posted on social media about renting a U-Haul truck when they couldn't find a rental car, but that is not recommended. If you're on a short trip, include more days in your search, which can reveal more options. Also, look beyond traditional rental car companies. Turo is for car sharing that lets owners rent out their own vehicles, kind of like Airbnb for cars. Connecting the dots, I'm Janelle Bluda, KHOU 11 News.